Ignition sequence starts. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. Liftoff. We have a liftoff.
Hey everybody, this is the Digital Asset Investor, and it looks like things are about to get interesting. Look at this. Just in, the Anonymous Collective has hacked the Central Bank of Russia. More than 35,000 files will be released within 48 hours with secret agreements. Wouldn't it be interesting if Russia had some secret agreements with people and that we're watching some sort of a movie? I'm not saying that's what's going on. I'm just saying I think that what's more important these days than nuclear bombs and all of that is information and cyber warfare. And I think you have to wonder if all this, here in the U.S., all we're hearing, Russia's going to cyber attack us imminently and all this. It's almost like they're laying the groundwork to provide cover when documents start coming out. That's what it sounds like to me. Okay, because there's one thing I know for a fact, and hear my words. There's one thing I know for a fact, and it's not just crypto. It's in our normal media and all that. There's one thing that's factual. It's just the way it is. I don't know if we ever were told the truth in media, but we're surrounded by lies now. From every single angle. These people, when I was growing up, I thought, hey, United States of America, I don't trust our politicians. I don't trust our agencies. I don't trust any of them. And I'm not coming from a place where I wanted to be, I'm not some anti-government. We need government, but we don't need corrupt government. And we are surrounded by lies now, folks. It makes me sick because all we want is a future for our kids. And there's some sick people that have taken control of this country, in my opinion. Now, and that's not parties. I'm talking about both sides of the aisle, folks. I'm not talking about, we're way beyond Republican, Democrat. There's corruptions on both sides, all throughout. Now, before we get going, it's important that I show you this from our sponsor. ProCoinNews.com, as you know, is one of the only honest crypto media outlets, but they're more important. They are the official sponsor of the Digital Asset Investor Hunting and Fishing Club. And we do have cameras out at the Hunting and Fishing Club. And when we catch something interesting, I need to show it to you. I need to show my audience. You need to understand what's going on out there. And it looks like we had somebody on the prowl. This, my friends, in front of my feeder here is a bobcat. Now, bobcats don't get that big, but Free American Spirit here says what I was thinking which is it just me or bobcats getting bigger? This one looks like an evolved bobcat. So I thought it'd be a fun addition to my channel to every once in a while show you a picture of what's going on out there. I enjoy just being out in the wild and seeing. It's amazing what happens when you go out there around the fish and the wildlife and all. You see things that you didn't even know were going on in the world. It's kind of interesting. BlackRock looks to offer crypto services as client demand rises. CEO. The Russia-Ukraine conflict will push countries to reassess currency dependencies, Fink said in a letter to shareholders. Now, I just want you to see how the game's played. Here, you got CoinDesk tweeting out that he said the Russian-Ukraine war could accelerate the adoption of digital currencies and that the asset manager is exploring them in response to client demand. Okay? Well, this reminded me of Larry Fink back on July 16th of 2018. Now, are you telling me that Larry Fink, that in this clip, he says that he doesn't have one client? This is July 13th, or July 16th of 2018. He didn't have, I remember it like it was yesterday. He didn't have one client that was interested in crypto. Listen to him.
Is it true that you're building out a cryptocurrency capability? No. I mean, we're looking at it. As I said in the past, we are we are very excited about blockchain technology. That's what we're looking at, even in the Aladdin universe, what we're trying to do there. So we're looking at blockchain technologies, and we're looking at all the
But blockchain isn't crypto. Blockchain is just the underlying technology.
Well, that's the most important thing. Whether it is a cryptocurrency, we're studying them to see how they're performing. And it may be, it may be.
Don't your clients want crypto exposure?
No, I don't believe any client has sought out crypto exposure.
I
Really?
don't believe that.
Yes.
That is not
But
true.
at some point they might. Do you need to be prepared?
I don't, at the moment, no.
It's interesting.
Yeah.
Goldman Sachs is building out a cryptocurrency trading desk. Morgan
Good.
Stanley is doing
I'm
the
not
same
in the
thing.
trading
JP
area.
Morgan's doing the same thing.
Yes, because there's elements of people who are looking to trade it. I have not heard from any one client they're looking to buy a cryptocurrency at this time. When it becomes more legitimatized, when it has the true open nature of it, that you identify who the players are on both sides, that's when we'll probably look at it as an alternative to all currencies. But I have
Right now you are aware then? You are
What do you mean?
just studying it?
We're studying it. We're looking how they perform. We're looking at that type of data to understand it as we think about other products. But right now, I can tell you, worldwide, I have not heard from one client who said, I need to be in this.
I just don't. I remember covering that on this channel, and at the time I said, that is bull. I don't believe that for a minute, and I still don't. Now, check this out. This is interesting. A total disaster. Crypto firms face being booted from the UK as a key deadline approaches. From March 31st, firms operating crypto services in Britain must be registered with the Financial Conduct Authority. Now, this immediately reminded me of something, because it's called the FCA, and they have to be registered with the FCA by March 31st. And it says Revolut and Copper are among the companies listed on a temporary FCA register, which will close once the deadline passes. This reminded me of this. From February 23rd of 2022, a breakthrough in Britain, Uphold's UK subsidiary of Uphold Europe Limited, gained regulatory approval, joining the list of 32 firms that have received FCA approval as registered crypto asset service providers out of the 200 that applied. And what this means, folks, is that Uphold is on the Link2 platform right now. It's on the platform right now. And this company, to me, is one of those dark horses that they're not getting near the press that Coinbase got back in the day. This one right here has got all their ducks in a row. I'm an owner of private equity and Uphold on Link2's platform. Go check it out if it sounds. I'm not a financial advisor. I'm just saying, go check it out if you're an accredited investor and you're interested in what Uphold's got going on. Talk to them about it. I'll put a link in the top of the description to Uphold as well. All right, check this out. This was on CoinDesk today, I guess.
Certainly. First, we need to completely debunk the idea that cryptocurrencies are being used solely for purposes of avoiding sanctions, etc. If we know what is going on really, most of the oligarchs or the people that are trying to avoid sanctions, what they're truly using is either the yuan, the Chinese currency, or gold. Cryptocurrencies are being used, and it is true, by the poor Russian citizens that have nothing to blame on in the country and in Ukraine to avoid the destruction of the purchasing power of the ruble. That is a completely different thing. What we need to understand is that the excuse of saying that cryptocurrencies are used to basically undertake illegal activities, etc., is completely debunked by reality. The reality is that what is going on right now is a currency war. This is the first time in history that we have seen sanctions that make a central bank be unable to access its own reserves, and therefore cryptocurrencies are basically being used to provide some level of support in terms of purchasing power to citizens that are seeing the ruble collapse.
All right, so we're in a currency war. Now, Perian Boring finally has replied to someone. This guy said, agreed, Perian, so why have you refused to speak on this subject since this tweet of yours, which was 2 months before the SEC case against Ripple was announced? Did you know something then that we didn't? And she replied, finally, we're submitting a brief and cannot comment until the brief is filed. And I said, miracles do happen. Now, my question here is, what are they waiting for? How long does it take to file a brief? It's almost, if I didn't know better, it's almost as if they want to file a brief right as this case is about over anyway, and it doesn't matter, to make it look like they did something or wanted to help. That's what it's almost like. Jeremy Hogan commented on it. Good to see the Chamber of Digital Commerce will file an amicus brief in the Ripple case. It filed an amicus brief in the Telegram case and focused on distinguishing the digital asset from any potential investment contract. This is similar to what Attorney Deaton is arguing. Then we've got this from James Phelan. The SEC has filed a motion for permission to redact notes of meetings between the SEC and third parties, claiming the notes were protected by DPP. The request is based on January 13th, 2022 decision on the DPP issues. So, they want to redact more, folks. No shame. There's no shame in this game. TAIG had a good tweet. Remember Pat Baraducci? This is something I don't remember if I knew this or not. I don't think I did. I remember that he was a consensus lawyer, and he was one of the guys talking about the Brooklyn Project back in the day, back in 2018. Well, turns out he used to be at Sullivan and Cromwell. Go figure. Taxonomy of digital assets, and you'll see right there the Brooklyn Project. As we go down, you've got Patrick Baraducci, taxonomy of digital financial assets, and then you got the same guy here at this same event with Gary Gensler. Consensus is approved to conduct business with the U.S. federal government. Consensus office address is in the middle of Washington, D.C. This guy's good. Follow TAIG if you don't already, at TAIG XRP. This guy is sharp. He looks into a lot. So does Stefan Huber. Give him a follow as well, at Lee RZEIT. Now, what Stefan Huber did here is this was the email from Bill Hinman to this Joshua Bonney guy, where they're basically talking about how the ethics office at the SEC does not want him interacting with William Hinman interacting with Simpson Thatcher, because he doesn't know that would look good, and so he doesn't even want him having dinner with them. Okay, and so Stefan Huber put the email between these two guys in words. He's got someone speaking, which makes it even more effective.
Bill, I got promoted to be co-head of the DC office. Not sure what an office head does, but I guess I will find out. I am sure you are very interested in our internal BS over here, not. Is there a headache for you coming to ad hoc next month if folks from Simpson are there? We can sit out a month if it makes your life easier. Not really sure what I am talking about, and may have it completely wrong, but I heard that there could be hassle for you.
Josh, thanks for your note and congrats to you. Let's discuss ad hoc. Our ethics folks were resisting my attending if Simpson Thatcher was going to be present. I don't like the idea of Simpson Thatcher having to miss the meeting because of me, but we can talk about it.
Maybe we could implement a protocol where we would not speak or ask questions, so that our presence was purely passive. I am not intuitively grasping what the issue is, however, so that may be a completely stupid idea. In any event, we are happy to sit on the bench this month to make things easy if need be. Does Jay have the same issue with Sullivan and Cromwell? Bill, any further thoughts on ad hoc? Sorry to bug on this, trying to make travel plans, or not. And also tell Davis Polk whether they need to do the work to put together an actual agenda if you and Jay won't be able to make it.
All right, as John Deaton points out here, this is what it's about. No way Hinman cleared the Ethereum Free Pass speech with the ethics office knowing about the Enterprise Ethereum Alliance. That is the problem. Now, Laura Shin, as many of you know, Laura Shin, who is a Bitcoin and Ethereum maxi through and through, wrote a book on Ethereum recently. Well, she was on her podcast with these people, and they were asking her about the secrets of Ethereum or whatever, and what she discovered in her book. Well, I went and listened to it, and there's a section where she is just almost giddy about how she has fact-checked Charles Hoskinson, who happens to be, the CEO of IOHK or whatever, which he's Cardano, which is an Ethereum competitor. He also had a falling out with the Ethereum founders, which makes him a bad guy, I guess, in her mind. So anyway, she's fact-checked this guy. And so my question is this to Charles Hoskinson. Remember, Charles Hoskinson is one of the only Ethereum founders who didn't accept the Ethereum. This guy smelled something bad here, and he not only didn't accept the Ethereum, but he left. And they would have you believe he got kicked out or whatever. Maybe he did. But the point is that he smelled trouble down the road, is what I think. And so he didn't accept the Ethereum. Now, listen to this. And my question to Charles is this. She's so interested in fact-checking this Charles Hoskinson, who's an Ethereum competitor, but writes an entire book on Ethereum and has no interest in fact-checking who the disguised whale purchasers were that Joseph Lubin helped to hide. And I'm asking Charles, do you know who the disguised whales are?
And you have since been attacked pretty viciously from the Cardano community about the light that you portrayed Charles in, right? So basically, the putting into question his credentials and basically painting him as highly manipulative. And
the funny thing is, actually, so I don't even know if they're upset about the portrayal, because I don't think they've read the book, so I don't know if they know what the portrayal is. They're just upset because I did a fact check on his education claims, and I just pointed out that his claims about his education don't match the school's records. And, I consider the school like what we call an original source. I checked, it's not like I only checked Charles' credentials. I checked everybody's, because that's what fact checking is. You go to the original source. And, there was another person whose education claims did not match the school's records. People can read the book to find out who that was. But, since Charles tweeted at me that my book was a fiction, and many people told me that Charles has told many fictions, I thought that was a little bit rich coming from him. And then, I had this evidence that the schools say he was an undergrad and dropped out from undergrad, even though he has told not only me, but multiple other media outlets and tweeted that he dropped out from a PhD program. But I would love to, fact check with any school that could verify that he was enrolled in getting a PhD from them. So.
Yeah, Mike's asking
this is the disguised whales clip. You all know what it is. Well, I'm going to extend an open offer to Charles Hoskinson, because what I would like to do is fact check the Ethereum disguised whales. So Charles Hoskinson, if you're listening out there, what I would like to do is do a fact check of who those disguised whales were and get your take on who they were, what went on, because I know that there is a lot of, just by virtue of this video you're looking at where Joseph Lubin's talking about disguised whales, there is some shady business that I think, in my opinion, Charles Hoskinson wanted no part of. And I think that Laura Shin wants no part of that being exposed, because she is down for the Ethereum struggle, or whatever you want to call it. So Charles Hoskinson has an open invite to come on this show and clear the air, and let's deal in some truth instead of all this BS cover-up stuff they're doing where they write books and they won't even address the obvious elephant in the room. It's their own words. It's not like we're making it up or creating some conspiracy. This is Joseph Lubin's own words. All we want somebody to do is say, okay, so he was disguising whales. Now let's look at them, because you can look, make no mistake. You can find out who those whales were. Chain analysis, a lot of these companies, they can do it. If they want to do it, they can do it. The question is, why does nobody want to do it? And I think that answers a lot of questions. And that's why Charles Hoskinson's welcome on this program. When you get tired of these people beating you up for having the gall to compete with Ethereum, you're welcome on here if you want to talk candidly and be honest, which I know my impression of Charles Hoskinson has always been that he's the only one of those guys that's shooting straight. I mean, he goes on a podcast or his YouTube channel all the time and tells it like it is. Now, I do not like having to cover this, but I'm going to cover it one time because I don't want to throw Warren Davidson under the bus, but I am not going to ignore something like this. I'm going to show it one time, and I hope he can redeem himself, but my antenna is up, and I'll show you why. So I saw this, and everybody's wondering what this is. Warren Davidson says, deleted tweet referencing the distribution of 5 billion XRP by central authority controlling supply pending authentication. Okay, what he did, which is fine. This part of this is an honest mistake. He either got one of those email, these fake Ripple and XRP emails that are being sent out probably by phishing scam or something. Well, he apparently got one of those emails or had something sent to him, and he thought it was real. But the problem is that I think he outed himself when he tweeted it. Just by reading his words. So look here. This is the part you need to focus on. This fake email said, it basically made it look like Ripple is doing what I'm about to read. By anchoring ourselves to the two latest programs, the Ecosystem Support Plan, the Financial Incentives Initiative, we aim to increase the stability of the Ripple ecosystem by preparing more than 5.09 billion XRP for distribution towards the ones that matter most, our loyal users. Okay? So it sounds like, when you read that email, it sounds like Ripple is going to do this. And he tweets this. Now, I think this is what his tweet was. So, if a central authority can dilute the value of all XRP by issuing 5 billion plus new tokens, and then he says a bit of nuance from the central authority. And it says here, Ripple has a different approach on the sustainability and incentive model for a digital asset or currency class, a hybrid inflation system. So ecosystem users are awarded dividends based on their XRP balances. So this is part of the whole lie. And based on his words here, this is what I walk out and look. 99.999% of the time my gut's right, and my gut is telling me this. The wording of his tweet is the wording of a guy who doesn't like Ripple, doesn't like XRP and what it represents. And I think he just outed himself by taking the bait on a fake email and told us what he already thought. That's what I think. That's what my gut's telling me. I said the story here is not that Warren Davidson made a mistake and tweeted a fake Ripple article. The story for me is whether he just outed himself as a closet anti-Ripple Bitcoin Ethereum maxi. I think he's earned the benefit of the doubt, but I do admit my antenna is up. Am I wrong? And then I tweeted this out. Can anyone, this is Stefan Huber with the whole Ethereum disguised whales. Can anyone name one, just one, congressman who has publicly said there needs to be an investigation of this? And if you go through this, of course, no, none. Not one congressman has said, this is freaking in your face. His own words. It's not my words, not your words. It's his words. It's one of the Ethereum founders' words that he helped disguise whale purchases in the Ethereum ICO. And it has never been audited, and not one congressman in the United States of America stands up and says this needs to be investigated. Not one. The SEC doesn't say anything, not the DOJ, not one organization, agency, or congressman says one word about it. What's wrong with this country? What's happened to our country? That's my question. And then I want to show you this. Now, you know how we've talked about, oh man, this video is too long. I'm going to have to show you this later. I'm the digital asset investor. I'm not an investment advisor. This is for entertainment purposes only. Please subscribe, hit the like button, and tell your friends and family that I'm sorry that the video was long, but I think it was good.